Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my lovelies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least when makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is True Love Tuesday. I am so excited about today's video. I really think that y'all are going to enjoy it. This is just about the cutest love story that I have found so far. We're venturing back into the land of country music this week, and it is just going to be a good time. Now, while I tell you guys this epic love story, I'm going to be doing this gorgeous kind of neutral glam eye look. We're going to be using the Colourpop Sandstone palette. I picked this up absolutely forever ago. I got it on sale for 11 bucks. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. It is full of super creamy mattes, gorgeous shimmering metallics, and the thing that I like the most about it, I think, is the sequined shades. So sequined shades are basically mattes, but they have little glitter reflex in there, and they just end up looking so pretty on the eye. And the thing about these sequin shades is that the sequins, the little glitters, actually stay on the lid. So you kind of get that little extra hint of subtle sparkle on the lid, which I think is so very pretty. Yeah, make sure that you have a big old glass of sweet tea, a cup of hot coffee, or in my case, a ice cold Coca-Cola. I don't allow myself to have Coke or soda very often, but today is New Year's Day, and it's kind of like a cheat day. We're celebrating going into the new year with something positive. My New Year's resolution is to kind of take care of myself a little bit more and to, take care of my health a little bit better. And part of that is I would like to, just be a little bit more active. So I'm going to dust off that machine back there that's turned into a coat and purse hanger, and hopefully get a workout in every day. And that also means no more soda for me. So I'm going to enjoy it today. I'm going to enjoy it today while I can. So good. Another part of this year's resolution is to, I need a little bit of help from you guys. I don't ask you guys very often, but if you enjoy the content, make sure that you guys share the video. Go follow me on all my other socials. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you like the content. I know that a lot of times it's super easy to just enjoy the video and just like on to the next. But if you could leave me that thumbs up and just let me know that you're enjoying what I'm doing, let me know that I'm on the right track. I would appreciate it more than you guys know. So please. Other than that, we're just gonna dive right into today's story. If you see me staring in this direction, it is because I have my notes over here, and I do that because I have the information retention of a gnat, and my brain is a sieve. So I have my stuff over here so I don't end up lying to you. As always, I will post everything that I'm using in today's video in the description box below. But if you guys have a question or, just even want to talk, send me a comment and I will get back to you. So jumping right into today's love story, y'all, it is absolutely the cutest thing ever. We're talking about Marty Stuart and Connie Smith, absolutely adorable couple. There are so many love stories sprinkled throughout country music history, but this is definitely one of the cutest ones I've found so far. So this whole story starts when Marty is 11 years old. Marty is 11, growing up in a pretty middle-class neighborhood. His mom is a country music stan, and music is playing continuously, right? Music was a big part of his life growing up, and Connie Stewart was his mother's second favorite singer of all time. The first of which was Marty Robbins, and that is who she named her son after. So this kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to how she feels about country music and the people that make it. So Marty kind of grows up listening to Connie, and his mother has her album, her record, sitting right on top of the stereo. And of course, on the front of the record is this beautiful picture of Connie. And she just looks like this absolutely gorgeous kind of country music blonde bombshell. And as Marty walks by that picture every single day, he kind of falls in love with her, right? He develops a giant crush on her. And he remembers saying, looking at that picture and saying, wow, she's just so, so beautiful. But it wasn't even just about how beautiful she was, right? There was something about the way that she sang. There was something about her music that really just touched a part of him and touched his heart. And he was quoted as saying, there were a lot of people who had crushes on her and still do. But her music, her songs, her singing was so powerful. It went beyond her beauty. She had the power in her voice to reach out and touch your heart. So there is this kind of like as emotionally developed as an 11-year-old can be. But there was kind of this emotional attachment to her as well. It just, her music kind of spoke to him, right? So in the summer of, what was it? The summer of 1970. In the summer of 1970, Marty finds out that Connie is coming to town. Connie is coming to town. She is doing a performance, and he's like, I can't miss this. I can't miss this. Mom, you have to take me. We have to go. I cannot miss her. He finds out that she is coming to his local high school and that she is going to be performing at the local football field. And he's like, Mom, I have to go. Mom, we have to go. So she says, okay. His mother, Mrs. Stuart, says, okay, I'll take you. He says, can I ask you one more thing? And his mother says, yeah, what do you need? And he asks his mother for a yellow t-shirt. Now, you might be wondering why he would ask specifically for a yellow t-shirt. And the answer just made me think that this is a smart kid. This is a smart kid. He said, because people don't really wear yellow around this town. He said, and if I wear a yellow t-shirt, I'll stand out. She'll know I'm there. She'll see me in the crowd. And that is so, so smart, right? You stand out. You can't help but, like, you see a sea of dark blue and black and what other colors. And then that bright spot of yellow, of course, is going to draw your eye. So they go to the concert. The day of the concert comes, Marty's mom packs up him and his sister Jennifer. They get in the car, they go over to the high school, and they attend this performance. Now, the performance went absolutely beautiful. She sang like an angel, and Marty had the absolute time of his life. By the time the end of the performance rolls around, by the end of the end of the performance rolls around, Marty is just like absolutely, he's losing it, right? Because he knows now he gets to actually meet her in person. Because, you know, she's, you can pay to take a picture with her and get her autograph. So, of course, he gets in line to get his picture taken with his crush, and he does so. And she actually even signs the picture for him and everything. And then, as she's going to leave, Marty turns to his mom and he asks his mother if he can borrow her camera. And his mom's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So Marty grabs his mother's camera. He runs up to Connie. She's getting into the car to leave. This is right before she's packing up and heading out. He runs up to where she's literally getting into the car, and he stops her and he says, will you please take a picture with me? And, you know, Connie, to her, this is just some 11-year-old boy, right? This is just some fan who wants to take her picture. And, of course, she's very nice and she's very sweet. So she gets back out of the car and she takes this picture with Marty. And this is the first picture that Marty has ever taken in his life. He has no idea what he's doing with a camera. But he says that he remembers. That was the first picture he had ever taken, and he remembered taking that picture for like forever. It led to him having a passion for photography later on in his life. But that one picture, he said, was a memory that never ever left him. And again, he's just a fan, so she didn't quite, you know, she's not really going to remember too awful much about this interaction. But this became a super important kind of memory for Marty. And she departs, she goes on, she lives her life, and you know, Marty continues to grow up. And this is kind of like the beginning of our story. This is how it starts. It's kind of like the snowball effect here. This is just the snowball, but it's rolling downhill. Yeah, it's all downhill from here. So Connie, okay. So in that day on the way home, right? I'm a little featherbrained at the moment. But on the way home after the performance, Marty said to his mother, he said, I'm gonna marry Connie Smith one day. And on July 8th, 1997, 27 years later, was it 27? 27 years later, he actually did marry her. Oh, it is so, so cute. He promised, he swore to his mom that summer in 1970 that he was going to marry Connie Smith. And who would have ever thought that that prediction would actually come true? But it really, really did. So a little bit of backstory on Miss Connie herself. Miss Connie, I think that she was a woman looking for love in all the wrong places. It seems to me like she just wasn't a great kind of judge of character when it came to men in general. In 1961, Connie married her first husband. His name was Jerry Smith. Now, Connie's maiden name was Mador, so she was born Connie Mador. She marries her first husband, Jerry Smith, and they had a son in 1963. But they divorced in the mid-60s, just wasn't the right fit. And she kind of rebounds pretty quickly from this as well. She's just like, you fall off the horse, you get right back on. So she's right back at it. And pretty soon afterwards marries her second husband. Now, her second husband was a little bit better, but still not a great, testament to the male gender. And his name was, she married her touring guitarist. And again, you're in close proximity, feelings, the whole shebang. She marries her touring guitarist. His name was Jack Watkins, and she had her second son with him, but their marriage didn't last for much longer than a year, and then they separated and divorced. So now at this time she has two children, both sons, and she is single again. So to her thinking, third time must be the charm. So now, next, she marries a telephone repairman, and I think she thought that maybe if she coupled with someone who wasn't in the music industry, maybe she wouldn't, maybe something different would happen. Maybe it would work this time. And it did work for quite a good long while. She stayed with him into like the mid-90s and actually ended up having 3 daughters with him. So at this time, she has 2 sons, 3 daughters. She's got 5 children. She's been married and divorced 3 times. And at this point, she's done. She's done. She is swearing off men. She vows that she will never get married again. She is done. She's just gonna die a spinster. She's just done. She's over it. And then you have Marty. And Marty hadn't exactly waited for Connie. You know what I mean? He met her when he was an 11-year-old boy. And of course, he grows up and he's got to live his life. There's no certainty that he's ever even going to see Connie again. So he lives his life. A year after meeting her, he was already kind of getting into music in general, and he had started learning how to play the guitar. And by the time he was 12 years old, he had learned to play not only the guitar, but the mandolin as well. So pretty musically talented as well. Just really likes to play music. I don't know if he's much of a singer, but definitely can pick some strings for sure. And he played the guitar and mandolin, and he was at the age of 12. He was performing with a gospel band named the Sullivans. And Marty, this is what started his love for country music, for his love for playing country music, right? Because he grew up loving country music, but now he can play it, right? Now he's actually a part of it, and he continues to kind of honor and hone his craft. And as soon as he kind of becomes of age, he kind of sets out and tries to find work. He wants to be a musician. This is the path that he has chosen for himself. So he goes off and to try to find work. Marty was hired to play for Lester Flatt by 1972. And by 1972, by 1972 he had a full-time job, and he played with Lester until 1978 when Lester retired. And then after that, he later joined Johnny Cash's band. And this, when I learned this little tidbit of information, kind of blew my socks off just a little bit, because I was like, I had no idea, right? So he starts playing with Johnny Cash, and very quickly after, kind of joining Johnny Cash's band, he meets up with Johnny Cash's daughter. And very quickly they ended up, kind of getting hitched. They got married, and he married Johnny's daughter, Cindy. And they had not a great marriage, not a long marriage. They were married from 1980 to they were married from 1983 to 1988. Not a terrible run, but not a great one either. She just wasn't the love of his life. So they parted ways. And now, at this time, both him and Connie are single for the first time. And not only are they both single, but now Marty isn't a kid anymore. Marty is now a grown man. He's got one marriage under his belt. And now it's time for him to kind of shoot a shot, right? He never ever forgot about Connie. She still was kind of like at the back of his mind. And he found a way to make it happen. So they finally, in the mid-90s, when they were both single, they were both single. Marty wasn't a kid anymore. They met at a music industry event in 1994. And at this event, Marty approaches Connie and kind of is like, well, I'm a songwriter and a producer, and I'd love to work with you. I'd love to see if we could make that happen. And, Connie is not at the top of her game anymore, and, is always interested in newer, younger blood, kind of come in and help give her a fresher sound, kind of revamp her image just a little bit. So she hires him, and they start to work together. And over the course of their working together, they're getting close. They're kind of learning about each other. They're writing music together. It's all very intimate, right? And you kind of have to know enough about each other to be able to write music together, right? So they're getting closer and closer, and during this time, they fall in love. And I think Marty just earnestly, he just loved her. He just loved her. And as much as she is 17 years older than this man, she is 17 years older than this man, and it doesn't matter, not a lick. It doesn't matter to him. I think it mattered to her in the beginning, but persistence does pay off sometimes. And I think his persistence really just kind of, it handed him his happily ever after. So they fell in love during the course of them working together. And finally, he married Connie on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota in a traditional Lakota ceremony presided over by a holy man. And they did that July 8th, 1997. He was 38 and she was 55. And I just think that this is so incredibly sweet. I just think it's just about the cutest freaking love story ever. And not only was this this wasn't infatuation, right? Because he said, marrying Connie is without question the greatest event of my life. And when a man truly, it goes beyond obsession, it goes beyond just wanting, right? When a man, I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say, other than he just really just adored her. He cherished her and continued to do so. They stayed married. They continue to be married, but they've been married for like over 25 years now. And it just goes to show you that when souls recognize each other and when hearts kind of beat the same, things don't matter. Age doesn't matter. Location doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. The heart wants what the heart wants. And he said, 2 hours beyond sunset, after our marriage vows had been spoken, Connie and I went up on a hill to dance with the wind. Out in the distance, a lightning storm flashed in all directions, making not a sound. It was one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. God performed a light show just for us that evening, and it was beyond words. Really though, I mean, how Is that not just completely and totally romantic and just like kind of awe-inspiring a little bit? You know, how at 11 years old, how do you recognize your soulmate? How did he get so lucky to realize that this is the woman that the Lord has chosen for me? This is my person, and I'm just gonna trust in fate that, you know, we're gonna be together. I just think it's incredibly sweet and so very romantic. They continued to work together. They both were inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame. They're really amazing people, right? Amazing people in the country music industry. Outside of it, they had a beautiful marriage. 25 years together and going strong. Despite the 17-year age gap and the twists and turns that just kind of like the winding road that led them to each other, somehow they made it work. Somehow they found a way, and somehow they beat the odds. And I just think that it is so funny that an 11-year-old boy kind of predicted that this woman was going to be the rest of his life. I think it is so sweet. Guys, that is the end of today's story. I hope that you enjoyed this one as much as I did. I really liked this one. This one made me smile an awful lot. As always, I didn't finish the eye look again, but I do have a TikTok on this eye coming very shortly. I will post it right after I post this video. I also will have finished pictures over on Instagram and Facebook. All of the products will be in the description box. The links to all my other socials will be down there as well. Guys, don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera telling you guys an epic love story, hoping you're enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.